Hey there, I'm Janet.
And I'm Brian.
And we are
Distinctive. So we are dual income, no kids. So we're coming at from a little different perspective for tips and tricks and advice how to go to Walt Disney World as an adult without little ones.
Yes.
So we like to open up as adults each episode.
Oh, really?
What we call our magic word of the day. And today's magic word is quick. So each time you hear that word, you take your a refreshing adult beverage and take a sip.
And if you can, bonus points if you can Disney theme your adult beverage.
Absolutely. But and if you're a mega fan like Kelly, then you should chug right now. And we'll wait. Okay. Let's move on. So our topic today is the top quick service restaurants at the various Walt Disney World theme parks.
Yes, so we've each chosen our favorite, and we also have chosen one lounge that has reasonably good snacks. So if we're not always big on lunch, which usually quick service is kind of more of a lunchy thing. So we've also chosen lounges that have snacks in case you just want something light and maybe a frosty beverage to go along.
And as always, we like to open up each episode with a little game. And today's game is
Would You Rather. So we have Disney-fied the Party Classic, and we are going to ask each other questions about what they would rather do of two not-so-fantastic options. You ready?
Yep.
Would you rather ride Journey into Imagination with Figment on loop, or It's a Small World on loop?
With FIGMENT, now you see things differently. That's definitely the winner. I would lose my head if you played It's a Small World nonstop. I really would. So yeah, definitely Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Good choice.
Yes, even though the original ride is way better. All right, my turn. Would you rather make out with moi on the Disney monorail or a Disney boat? Ooh.
Boat. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Your boat's like mildly romantic. I mean, if you're going for like the ferry boat, you can even maybe find a corner that you're not really in anyone's way. I'm kind of down on Disney PDA, not really my thing, but if I did not have an option and I was forced to make out with you.
Forced, I know. It'd be such a
the monorail actually features in my Would You Rather, so there are definite off-putting aspects of the monorail that would make me potentially not in the mood.
Note to self, we're taking Disney boats all the time.
If I had to pick, I said.
Boats.
All right, mine also features the monorail. You ready?
Yes.
Would you rather be trapped for 2 hours in the monorail or at a bus sitting at the Disney Springs stop?
So I could have to get a little clarification. Are there literally no buses coming to the Disney Springs stop?
No, you're in the bus.
I'm in the bus.
But you can't get out.
But you can't get out and you're stuck at Disney Springs.
Yes.
Wow. For 2 hours?
For 2 hours.
Wow. That's a tough one. I feel like there's is there zero chance of me getting out of it?
You can't get out.
Out of the bus? I just want to go bus because I feel like there's a higher chance I can get out.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let you do that.
No. I'll go with the monorail.
Really?
Because I feel like I'm not missing out on anything. I'm stuck. I mean, it's not like I can
The buses are generally clean, though.
I understand.
The monorail
Okay, you're just convincing me. Whatever. Oh my goodness. Can't Judgy McJudgester. Okay. Now, let's go on to something more serious, okay?
All right.
Okay.
The topic at hand.
Yes.
Disney food.
Disney food.
Disney food.
Yes.
One of the best things about Disney World, generally, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So we're going to start off at each park and highlight the favorites that we have. Some we share and some were different, but
all right, so rules a little bit. We're limiting ourselves to counter service or fast casual. If you don't know, fast casual is when you kind of get the little
pager
and then they bring your food to you, like they do at Panera Bread and some other places. And quick service is when you go up to the counter and you order. And we're not counting any little kiosks or
booths.
stands.
No booths.
All right, so Epcot, what's your pick?
Epcot, I'm gonna go with Choza de Margarita, outside the Mexico Pavilion.
Tell people what that is if they haven't been there in like a year, because it wasn't there yet.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. I guess it's within the last year or so. Essentially, it's a permanent location just outside of the Mexico Pavilion, right across from San Angel, Cantina. And they serve pretty much what you expect. It's the place where they serve margaritas. It used to have its own little stand. It used to exist, and they made it into a permanent place because they're so popular. And you can get frozen margaritas, or you get margaritas on the rocks. But I figure this is a twofer stop for me, because definitely getting a margarita, but I'm also like some tacos. I like me some tacos. And I feel like the tacos at Choza are really tasty, and they have an aioli that's a little spicy on it. I think it's better.
You like them better than the tacos at the traditional quick service that's been there forever?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And they also have options like guacamole with little pepitas. Beware, they're the pumpkin seeds. They do add some heat to it. But yeah, I think there's a good number of snacks that I like, and I'm definitely getting a margarita. Can't pass it up. So Choza de Margarita.
All right, and for me at Epcot, my favorite is the Tangerine Cafe in the Morocco Pavilion. So I struggled with this a little bit because there's actually more sit-down restaurants that are really good quality in Epcot than there are quick service.
Yeah.
But the Tangerine Cafe, they've got, my favorite thing is that they've got both vegetarian and non-vegetarian options. So I'm not vegetarian, but I do actually enjoy to eat vegetarian meals quite a lot. I
hear that all the time.
So they've got some kebabs, but they also have things like couscous bowls and nice salads there. And they do serve alcohol there. It might not be in the they've got alcoholic, and they've also got some teas and other non-alcoholic beverages there. And my favorite thing about it is they've got a little sweet stand all the way in the back, and their baklava is really good. So it's just nice. It's got a lot of selection. Most of the things that are there are light. They're not going to weigh you down when you're walking around in the park, and the seating area is nice. It's covered, so they've got indoor and outdoor seating. But even the outdoor seating is relatively cool because it's right there by a fountain, and it's in the shade. Usually, at least some of the tables are in the shade almost all the time. So I like Tangerine Cafe.
Yeah, hint for an upcoming video. That's a great spot where you can get in the shade and avoid some of the little ones if you're tired of experiencing.
Unless Jasmine is there.
Jasmine's over in the back corner, so you're fine. We're right there, so it's a great spot. So lounge, I think we
no contest.
Agree on this one wholeheartedly.
Tutto gusto.
The wine cellar in particular.
All right, so this one actually is still kind of a secret. Shh. We'll tell you, but don't tell anyone else.
Yeah, don't tell anyone. Whisper.
You're our friends, viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell. Yeah, the wine cellar is really nice. It's got a genuine wine cellar thing going for it.
Just cleaner.
We've been to Italy. We've been to wine cellars in Italy, and the theming here is on point. It's very, 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 very good. And it's cool in there. There's a lot of loungy kind of seating. There's also kind of your typical bar seating, as well as some high top tables that can seat a crowd. So if you've got a group of like 6 or 8 people, this can be a good spot. You may have a small wait for one of the larger tables, but and sometimes they can be kind of more community tables. So if there's 2 people sitting there, there's no reason not to, take the other end of the table. That's something that definitely fits the vibe of the place. They have a fantastic wine selection there. They do have a sommelier on staff who works there full time and will be happy to direct you to good wine choices. They also have wine flights if you don't want to have to think about it too hard. And it's just a nice place to relax and chill for a little while.
And the AC is definitely pumping in there. It's working very
and
effectively.
and the food choices are basically the appetizers from the restaurant next door that it's attached to, Tutto Italia, as well as the kind of smaller portions of some of the pasta dishes, etc. So you can get some. You can, if you have 2-3 of those and share, you'll be full.
Absolutely, definitely share them. They're a little bit larger. So I completely agree. I think in addition to it, what you see is based off of the atmosphere being dimly lit and being wine cellar themed, you'll see people, with children walk in, peer their head in the door, and they're like, this is not where I parked my car. And they go right back out the door, which is good.
And you say cheers.
You say cheers and you drink to it. So it results in a place that's quieter for certain, a place that's chiller and, attitude. You don't have to worry about people running up and down the place like you see most everywhere else in Walt Disney World. So, but you will not be intimidated. As an adult, you will walk straight in there confidently, knowing exactly what you're going to get, which is some vino and some fresh mozzarella. Mozzarella, that's very good. But do this. Don't be intimidated by asking for guidance by the sommelier. That's what he's there for. And I know most people are like, oh, sommelier, he's for the uber wealthy people to go talk to who really know about wine. No, yeah, kind of, sort of, but we're at Walt Disney World, let's be honest. There's not really a lot of enophiles here, xenophile, whatever it's called. Enophiles, okay, give me a break. But yeah, so he's pretty much going, he's not super busy other than, he's managing the wine program. But yes, ask him questions, get advice, get guidance, and that way you can learn a little bit more about wine.
And if you are an enophile, he probably is a little bored because there aren't that many people walking in there. So you can have some fantastic conversations. So if you know your wine, bend his ear a little bit. I'm sure that you'll have some great conversation. They do it right. Yeah,
absolutely. Dimly lit means children get the hell. No.
Wow.
That's not what it says. Does it?
It's a friendly channel.
It's a friendly channel. Okay. Wow.
All right. So we're moving right along.
So
to Hollywood Studios.
Yep.
This is a tough one because pretty much all the quick service in Hollywood Studios is terrible. Let's just be frank.
Yeah, I would agree.
So if you like a hamburger, standard Disney hamburger with fries, you're fine
Pizza.
At Hollywood Studios, probably. But if you're looking for something a little less theme park and a little more interesting, you've got your work cut out for you at Hollywood Studios. I chose Fairfax Fair. Fairfax Fair is the quick service restaurant that is down toward the Tower of Terror. So if you walk into the park and you hang that right down that first main road, Sunset Boulevard, it'll come up on your left. It kind of looks like a produce stand, farmer's market kind of theme is what they've got going there. And the food is fine. It's non-offensive, and they've got some healthier options than just burgers and fries. And so I picked that one.
Well, that's my choice too, because there really isn't anything there. All I'm looking for is one go-to meal out of these places that just don't have good options like Hollywood Studios. So for me, it is the pulled pork sandwich at Fairfax Fair. It's pretty delicious. I think they give you a fair amount of pulled pork for it. But yeah, I just don't go in there with really high expectations of great food for quick service restaurants and Hollywood Studios. So moving on to the lounge, I think we both agree it's tap line.
Baseline Tap House.
I always freak that one right up. Baseline Tap House. It's slapping the bass, man, slapping the bass. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Well, it's okay. They'll get it.
So it's kind of a toss-up, right? Because you've got basically two to choose from. You've got the Baseline Tap House and you've got the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge. But we have not actually experienced the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge yet. I have a feeling that one's going to take first place for me when I get there. It looks to be really nice, but we have not actually had it yet. So for me, Baseline Tap House wins by default. The beers on tap are good, and you have a nice selection. The snacks could leave something to be desired. They've got a not crudité, charcuterie board. So they've got a charcuterie board, and I think they've got some soft pretzels and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think they rotate that menu slightly. the same as they rotate the beers, but they've got kind of your typical bar nosh, and it's good, if a little bit overpriced in my opinion.
3 points on Baseline Tap House that make it a great place to lounge in Hollywood Studios. 1, this is probably, I'm pretty confident saying, the largest beer selection on draft in all Walt Disney World property. 2 is they are most often rotating their taps than any other bar that serves draft beer in all of Walt Disney World. And 3 is you get a selection of West Coast brews because it's supposed to be West Coast themed. And so there's a lot of brews that you wouldn't be able to get normally on the East Coast. Even if you went out to a restaurant or go to a liquor store, you're not going to find a lot of these. So it's a great chance to get a little bit sampling of what they have to offer over on the West Coast.
There you go. All right. Moving right along to the Animal Kingdom. Yeah. What's your pick for best quick service at Animal Kingdom?
This is by far the easiest one of the bunch because I believe it is the best quick service restaurant in all of Walt Disney World. Satuli, I think, Canteen. It's in Navi, so I don't know how to pronounce Satuli, but I'll guess that's it. Absolutely the best because I think you get the most value for the money. You get a great meal that's not only delicious but healthy. And I think the way they've done the variety of options that you have available to you on the base being you can do rice or rice and beans, or you can do lettuce, and then the meat options you have available. And on top of that, you can also take either bowls or you can take the little what do they call them?
Pods.
The little pods. Yes. So I think everything's there that I've tasted is delicious, and it was the very first restaurant to introduce mobile order, and we were there probably day 3 when they unveiled mobile order there, and it went off without a hitch, and it still does every time we visit there. So it's easy. I know a lot of places are doing mobile order, but in terms of efficiency, I think they're just well built for it. And so yeah, absolutely best quick service restaurant bar none.
I agree with you on the mobile order. I would recommend any place that offers mobile order, do the mobile order. Even the places that aren't as well built to accommodate mobile order, like Casey's Corner and Magic Kingdom, you've got a 50-50 shot of it being better and a 50-50 shot of it being worse or about the same. So you might as well do the mobile order. It almost always works out a little more conveniently, and it's free if you have the app. I picked the same one.
Oh, of course.
So Tuli Canteen. I love the pods. So the pods are basically these bao buns they've got 2 flavors. They have curry, which is a vegetarian option, and they have like a hamburger flavored one, cheeseburger flavored one. And I'm actually not a typical cheeseburger fan. I usually have just a plain burger with only cheese and onion on it. So I was a little worried about all the mustard and ketchup and pickle and everything else that would be in that pod, but they work. I enjoy them. So I think if you enjoy cheeseburgers, you'll probably really enjoy it. And even if you don't, give them a whirl. And all the dishes there, they come with this fantastic little like pickled salad.
Pickled relish.
Yeah, it's like
it's delicious.
julienne veggies,
Yeah.
of like carrots and cabbage and stuff. And it is super yummy. So, and kettle chips too. So I picked the same one. I will give a shout out to, I wasn't sure if it counted as a kiosk or not, which is why I didn't pick it.
It's a kiosk, but as a permanent location.
8 Spoons Cafe is an honorable mention here. So it is a kiosk, but it's a permanent kiosk. It's always there. And they serve kind of dressed up mac and cheese there. So you could get like a pulled pork mac and cheese, or
so fancy mac and cheese.
I think they change up which mac and cheeses there are, so you check the menu when you go there. It's on Discovery Isle over by on your way to Asia, so to the right of Bugs Life as you head into the park.
That's right.
To the right. So shout out to 8 Spoon Cafe, which is yummy if you just want something light like mac and cheese.
All right, moving on to the lounge for Animal Kingdom, since we
no contest.
Again, no contest, not even close. It's Nomad Lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
Absolutely.
So this is a lounge that's associated with Tiffin's Restaurant, which is a fine signature dining restaurant. But they do have the associated bar lounge, which is open most of the day. I think it opens around like noon. And you don't have to be eating at Tiffin's to go there. It's pretty good. The secret's out on that one.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's right on the edge of Discovery Island and where Pandora begins. So as Pandora opened up, it got more popular. Go figure. But the outdoor seating area is wonderful. It's completely covered and shaded. They have lots of fans moving air. You get a little breeze from. I recommend you sitting as close to the little river there that they have. You kind of get pulled out of the theme park for a second. You just feel like you're, in, Florida swamp for a second.
Yeah.
So
in the best sense.
In the best sense of the word, swamp. Yes. But yeah, and I think the drink program is on point.
Mixed drinks here, very, very good.
Absolutely.
I try and try a new, different one from what I had last time every time we go.
Yeah, and I just am in love with any place that does tea infused drinks. Period, because I'm a tea drinker. So I think it's phenomenal that they even have that as an option.
Snacks here slightly overpriced, but very good. So you may not want to make a meal of it, but get a little nosh to go along with your beverage. Definitely recommended.
Split the cost.
Get one and share. Yeah, split the cost.
Absolutely. One thing to note, I feel like since they're become more popular, they feel a little understaffed. So if you want the best service, sit at the bar. And that could be on the inside or the outside. The inside's very nicely themed as well. Usually you're going to have to scope out or, for an outdoor seating area, maybe for 10 minutes or something. Indoors is usually not the case, or at the bar is almost always available. So.
Yeah, you can usually score a table inside even if outside is taken and you don't want to wait. And the inside is really nice. They've got these cool decorations of where the Imagineers have been from like all over the world as they were designing the Animal Kingdom park, and it's a really cool experience. They've got a whole bunch of different little Tibetan prayer strips and little hanging from the ceiling, which is a cool effect, and they've got a lot of like signed pictures and stuff that if you look up toward the ceiling you'll see, and so yeah, the theming in there is cool, and it doesn't hurt that the AC is blasting in there. So that's another reason to sit inside rather than outside.
All right, quick question: is it the best lounge on all of Disney property?
Ooh. No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I think
we'll do a whole nother video on lounges probably.
I disagree.
But there are lounges that are outside of the parks, which I would prefer personally.
Depends on what you. Okay, we'll go into that later. All right, so we agreed on both in Animal Kingdom. Moving on finally to Magic Kingdom.
Tough, because Magic Kingdom was a dry park until just very recently, and even now there are alcoholic beverages only offered at the sit-down restaurants. So we're going to be a little less boozy in this particular conversation, and instead focus on food.
Yeah.
So what do you got? Best quick service at the Magic Kingdom?
I mean, I think all the, let's just say food options in general are more tailored towards kids because that's the original park, and so I think it's more kid-friendly food there. Even the adult-sized portions are kid-friendly. For whatever reason, there's just not that many good options. Even with the sit-down, there's only a couple in my mind, but quick service is even less. So I'm just going to go like I did with Hollywood Stews, pick one place that just has one go-to dish for me that I know I'm going to enjoy, and that is found at Pecos Bill's Telltale Inn and Cafe, and that's at the border of Adventureland and Frontierland. Yeah, they have a go-to dish for me when it's nice and hot outside.
Nachos.
No.
Oh, the nachos there are good.
I don't want hot food when I'm already hot, and so I'm going with the Southwest chicken salad. I love Southwestern salads. I love Southwestern food, and I think they do a great job, and it's consistent. I enjoy it every time. So that's pretty much a very low bar, but that is.
My go-to there is the nachos. Nachos are good.
That nachos are fine too.
So I chose the Beauty and the Beast restaurant.
Mm.
So not everybody knows that this place is open for lunch. It is. It's quick service at lunch rather than.
It's fast casual.
Well, it's fast casual at lunch. You're right. Rather than sit down as it is at dinner. But the food is very similar. A little bit smaller portions, I think, and there may be a couple of things that aren't on the lunch menu that are on the dinner menu, but for the most part, it's good French food. It's not, anything to write home about, but it's good. And it's not extravagantly priced. You pay a little bit of an extra premium for it being in the castle there, but the fact that it's fast casual does help with that. So what you do is you go in, you kind of order at your little kiosk, you'll be assigned a kiosk, and you order what you want, and you get a little rose, it's very cute, that you bring with you to your table, and then your food is served to you. So it's kind of a combo between that quick service dining option and a sit-down meal, and it's nice. The decor in there is really great, so it's worth checking out even for that. Not sure exactly how the reservation process works on that. We had done a walk up for lunch once, but we may have just gotten crazy lucky because that was pretty near when it first opened.
I think they'll reserve a good portion of it for walk-ins for lunch. Dinner, not so much.
Anyway,
dinner,
so that's my choice. And we can't pick a lounge at Magic Kingdom because there aren't any.
There aren't any, and that's just historically because it was dry. And so what we've chosen to do instead is we would go on one of the resorts on the monorail loop for a lounge. So what's your pick?
The resorts that are on that monorail loop are the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian. Each of them has at least one lounge. Polynesian and Grand Floridian, I believe, each have two. And I like, at the Grand Floridian, Meisner's Lounge, which is the one on the second floor. It's got a fantastic view of Seven Seas Lagoon and of the castle, and it is excellent service there. The one drawback for this as a lounge is that they don't really have any snacks. They have kind of your typical, nut bowl and that sort of thing. And they'll be happy to refill it for you if, you're a little bit peckish, but you can't really order proper food here. But the drinks are excellent and the service is even better.
I think sometimes they have some live music. There's a piano in there.
Later in the evening, they usually have live music.
Yeah. My pick for lounge on the monorail loop would be at Polynesian. And it would be Trader Sam's.
You can't pick Trader Sam's. It's only open after 4 o'clock.
It's okay. So it's still lounge.
It makes it a bar.
Okay. It makes it a bar. Fine. Then I agree with you. Meisner's Lounge. We'll do another one about Trader Sam's. I think Trader Sam's, honestly, it deserves its entire video. It might very well. Yeah, so I don't want to ruin that one. So we'll get into that one later. But I even like the quick service better in the Polynesian. Captain Cook's is by far, the pulled pork nachos. Pulled pork nachos, must do. Captain Cook's, do it. You must do it. It's like a giant pile of pulled pork. You will end up with more pork than chips. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Pineapple. If you don't like pineapple, then don't do it.
You can get it without pineapple.
I guess you can.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it for this episode. So we would like to close every episode with a quote from the man himself, Mr. Walt Disney. And today's quote is, "I love Mickey Mouse more than any woman I have ever known except her."
You're disgusting.
Sick. Okay.
All right. So that's it for today. I'm Janet.
And I'm Brian.
And we are
Distinctive.